topic for the next class, here it is Mughal administration written. It is not Mughal. We have completed Delhi Sultans. Right. What was Sultanate administration? Then, before going to the Mughals, what the regional kingdoms that were formed in different parts of India, we have to discuss that. Then only Mughals. We covered only Sultans. You can't go to the Mughal administration. Okay. Anyway. Then what was Sultanate administration? Delhi Sultanate state. Controversy, was it a theocratic state or a military state? Theocratic in the sense sultans ruling according to Quran. Quran, the source for their administration. Shariat, Quranic law, they administered according to that. Taxes as per Quran. Hindus, non-Muslims, second-grade citizens of Islamic State. So, these reasons convince us that it looks like a theocratic state. But there are sultans also who never ruled as per Quran. Most of the sultans sought investitures or recognition letters from Khalifa of Baghdad. That's a fact. But there are also sultans who never respected Khalifa. Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. They are sultans secular who never wanted religion to interfere in the state administration. So you cannot say altogether that it was a theocratic state. Right. Then what else? Sultanate state can be defined as a military state. Military state in the sense that the sultan, the ruler, depended upon the support of the military department. You are in power mainly because you have control over army. Sardars, I told you, kingmakers. They could make anyone sultan, they could remove anyone as a sultan. So Sultanate state may be defined as a military state, functioned as per the support of, or with the support of the military department. Barani, Ziauddin Barani. Barani tells us that at the center there were 4 departments assisting the Sultan. Wazirat, Aras, Risalat and Insha. Diwan A Insha. 4 departments. Empire divided into provinces called Sarkars. Sarkars governed by Wali and Naib. Naib means deputy. Wali means commander. Sarkars of far away places, distant places. Their governors were also called sultans. They enjoy powers on par with the sultan because they are ruling the far away places. They can't wait for orders from Delhi. They take on-the-spot decisions without referring the matter to Delhi. So they enjoy power on par with the sultan. That's why you call them also sultans. Sarkars divided into Sheikh, S-H-I-Q. Sheikh means district. Head of the district administration, Sikhdar. Sheikhs were divided into Parganas, group of villages. Parganas headed by Amil. Amil, the head of Pargana. The lowest unit of administration, Gram, or village. At the village level, sultans never interfered. They allowed our traditional village aristocracy, Khots, Mukaddams, Chaudhris and Patwaris, to continue. Right. This is the administrative system top to bottom. Take a note. Administrative system, Sultanate administration. Give the subheading, Sultanate administration. Sultanate state may be defined as state may be defined as a military state. Military state, comma. Sultan depended upon the support of the administration. Sultanate state as a military state, comma. Sultan depended upon the support of Tree Department. Next. According to Ziauddin Barani, there were four departments. There were four departments at the center. Semicolon number 1. Diwan-e-Wazirat. Diwan-e-Wazirat. Finance Department. Finance Department headed by. Is my voice audible to you? Is it audible? Is it audible? Say yes or no. Last bench. Huh? Because volume wise it is less, I feel. Diwan-e-Wazirat, Finance Department, headed by Wazir. Wazir, Finance Minister. Wazir was assisted by Mustafi. Mustafi A. Malik. Mustafi A. Mumalik, Auditor General. Auditor General and Mushrif. Mushrif A. Mumalik, Accountant General. Accountant General. Fine. Next, second department. One A. RS. Diwan-e-Aras, Military Department. Founded by Balban. Founded by Balban. Full stop. Was headed by Aras-e-Mamalik. Aras-Mamalik means Chief Commander. Chief Commander. Next, third department. Shah. Diwan-e-Insha, in charge of religious affairs. Religion. In charge of religious affairs and endowments. In charge of religious affairs and endowments. Headed by Qazi. Haji. Next, fourth department. Diwan-e-Risalat. नहीं, Diwan-e, I'm sorry, my dear. Diwan-e-Insha, in charge of correspondence. Kindly correct it. Damn sorry. Diwan-e-Insha, third department, in charge of correspondence, not religious affairs and endowments. Correspondence, headed by ABIR. Dabir. Third department, in charge of correspondence, headed by Dabir. Next, Diwan-e-Risalat, in charge of religious affairs and endowments. Fourth one, in charge of religious affairs and endowments. Full stop. It was what is the problem? Right. The last department. The fourth department, Diwan-e-Risalat, in charge of religious affairs and endowments. Question in UPSC, which department would decide the question whether a war to be jihad or not? Generally, sultans, when they declare war, they invariably invoke Quran and declare the war as jihad, holy war. So which department decides the question whether a war to be holy or not? That was Risalat. Kindly add there. is department. It is department Risalat that decides the question. Whether a war should be jihad or not. Whether a war jihad or not. Clear? Full stop. Next paragraph. Sultanate Empire was divided into sarkars. Provinces called sarkars. S-A-R-K-A-R. Sarkars administered by Naib, N-A-I-B, Naibs and Walis. Naibs and Walis. Full stop. The governors of distant sarkars, distant provinces, distant sarkars were also called sultans. They were also called as sultans. Sarkars were divided into the districts called Sheikh, S-H-I-Q, sheikhs, governed by shikdars. Sheikhs governed by shikdars. Full stop. Sheikhs were further divided into group of villages called Paragana. Underline Paragana, Sikh and all that. And called Paraganas. They were headed by Amils, A-M-I-L, Amils. Next. Village, the lowest unit. Village, lowest unit of the administration. At village level, sultans continued the hereditary Hindu officers court, Khots, courts and patwaris. Courts and patwaris, the village accountants, within brackets, village accountants, Chaudharis, and Mukaddams. Chaudharis and Mukaddams, within brackets, heads of villages. Fine. Now give the subheading Revenue Administration. In revenue administration, ICTA system was the unique administrative system developed by the sultans. Full stop. It was actually introduced by ICTA system introduced by Muhammad Ghori, well developed by Sultan Iltutmish. Full stop. Balban, B-A-L-B-A-N, Balban was the first sultan to reorganize it. Was the first sultan to reorganize the ICTA system. Full stop. Alauddin Khilji stopped the ICTAs. Alauddin Khilji stopped the ICTAs. Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Firoz Shah Tughlaq revived the ICTAs. Revived ICTA system. Full stop. Next paragraph. Holders of small ICTAs, holder, H-O-L-D-E-R, holders of small ICTAs, small areas, were actually called iqtidars. Were actually called iqtidar, I-Q-T-A-D-A-R. Full stop. Holders of bigger iqtas, bigger iqtas were called muktis. M-U-K-T-I, muktis. Underline muktis. Full stop. Both iqtidars and muktis, would be transferred, would be transferred from one area to the other, transferred from one area to the other as per the convenience, as per the convenience and requirement of the state. Full stop. Next paragraph. There were basically three types of iktas. There are basically three types of iktas. First one, ikta A. Ikta A Tamluk or Ikta A Tinmal. Ikta A Tamluk or Ikta A Tinmal. Come on. Ikta given for administrative purpose. Ikta given for administrative purpose. Next, Ikta A Istigatal. Istigatal. Ikta A Istigatal. Ikta given for stipends. It's an ikta given for stipend. STIPEND. Next, third one. Ikta A work. You know work lands? Endowments. Ikta A work means iktas given for work. Iktas given for endowments or religious institutions. Fine. Next, in judicial administration, there were separate courts for C-O-U-R-T, courts for Hindus and Muslims. Full stop. Dharma Shastras, sources of law. Dharma Shastras, sources of law for the Hindu. Whereas Islamic law was administered as per Shariat. Shariat, S-H-A-R-I-A-T. Shariat. Full stop. Qazi, Q-A-Z-I. Qazis dealt with civil cases. Qazi dealt with civil cases. Next, Mufti. M-U-F-T-I. Mufti Miradi, Mufti, Miradi, and Saeed. Mufti, Miradi, and Saeed dealt with criminal cases. Fine. That's enough on Sultanate administration. Right. Class, listen. From Sultans to the Mughals, in between, you have regional dynasties. Sultanate Empire reached its maximum extension, Tughlaq. If you remember, I told you, under Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the process of disintegration also started. Bengal became independent. 1336, Vijayanagar Empire was founded. 1346, Bahmani Empire founded. The disintegration started during the times of Muhammad bin Tughlaq himself. The constant aspect of Indian history, struggle between centralization and decentralization. If you remember, Mauryas tried to unite India. After Mauryas, foreign dynasties, native dynasties ruled India. Guptas united. After the fall of Gupta Empire, again disintegration. Harsha tried to unite. The fall of Harsha, downfall of Harshavardhan. I told you North India was divided, maximum, as many as into 1200 regional kingdoms. Sultans conquered major portion of India. So there's political unity. This unity again, you see, disintegrating. I mean, unity got into disunity. It to disunity. In Bengal, you have Ilyas Shahi dynasty, independent dynasty. Jaunpur, founded by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, that itself became independent. 3 independent states were formed in 1398 when Taimur attacked Delhi. I told you, Muhammad Shah and took shelter in Gujarat. That year, 1398, you had 3 independent kingdoms. Okay. Malwa, Kanpur, and Gujarat. They all became independent. Malwa was ruled by Khilji dynasty. It was ruled by Bahadur Shahi dynasty. In Rajputana, Kashmir, Shamir dynasty. In South India, the great Vijayanagar Empire and Empire. This way, political map you see was disintegrated. From the examination point of view, you are expected to know important rulers. You have to go for entire dynastic history, not required. Okay. Who matter here? The most popular prominent rulers matter. Sometimes you get questions on them. Okay. Take a note. Regional kingdoms. Heading, regional kingdoms. regional kingdoms. Sultanate Empire, Delhi Sultanate Empire expanded maximum. It expanded maximum under Alauddin, under Muhammad bin Tughlaq, under Muhammad. At the same witnessed the process of disintegration. Process of disintegration. Full stop. Next paragraph. Three within brackets, Janpur, Jaunpur, Malwa, when Gujarat brackets attacked India, when Taimur studies, listen, when Taimur did that ended Sultanate Empire, when Nadir attacked Delhi, 1739, that ended Mughal Empire. Who created problems for Indians in general of Persia, Iran? Constantly attacking. Okay. That's why history is time and again telling us the lessons. One must take care of the western border. Okay. Fine. Now you see the independent kingdoms in Bengal. Listen. Ilyas Shahi dynasty, they founded independent kingdom. Ilyas, because the ruler Shamsuddin Ilyas. That's why Ilyas Shahi dynasty. Capital city, okay, Pondua, Pondua, capital city. The greatest of this dynasty, Alauddin Hussain Shah. Alauddin Hussain founded a mighty empire, went up to Nepal, conquered even Kalinga, Odisha. Alauddin Hussain Shah of Bengal. It was during his times the great Bhakti reformer, Bhakti movement was going on. Chaitanya Prabhu was preaching Vaishnavism. Surprisingly, Sultan came under the influence of Chaitanya Prabhu. Alauddin Hussain declared himself an avatar of Krishna Bhagavan. Question in UPSC. Avatar of Krishna Bhagavan wearing peacock feathers, holding flute in his hand, conducting. Alauddin Hussain, thoroughly under the influence of Chaitanya's Vaishnavism. His titles Jagadbhushan and Nupati Tilak. His successor Nasrat Shah, he appointed Malbari Das to Understand? Into Persian. Okay. So Sultans of Bengal, okay, they were very much inclined to powerful native cults. Understand? 29. Babur attacked Bengal. Bengal was ruled by Ibrahim Lodi, Afghans. In the Battle of Gogra, Gogra, Babur defeated Muhammad Lodi and occupied Bengal. So Bengal became part of Mughal Empire. All these regional kingdoms, one after the other, now become part of Mughal Empire. Right? Take a note. Give the sub number one, Bengal. Subheading number one, Bengal. It was ruled by independent Ilyas Shahi dynasty. Ilyas Shahi dynasty with the capital city Ponduva. Full stop. Alauddin Hussain Shah Alauddin Hussain Shah was the greatest. Was the greatest. Full stop. It was during his times. It was during his times. The great Bhakti saint, S-A-I-N-T, Saint Chaitanya Prabhu. Chaitanya preached Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism. Sultan under the influence of Sultan Hussain. Sultan under the influence of Chaitanya Prabhu regarded himself an avatar of Krishna. Regarded himself an avatar of Krishna and took the titles Jagatbhushan, and Nrupati Tilak. Jagatbhushan and Nrupati Tilak. Full stop. Next paragraph. Sultan Nasrat Shah, Sultan Nasrat, N-U-S-R-A-T-H, Nasrat Shah appointed Malbari Das for translating Mahabharata Full stop. Next. In 1529, 1529, Babur defeated Muhammad Lodi, brother of Ibrahim, in the Battle of Gogra. In the Battle of Gogra, and occupied Bengal. Right. Fine. Now you go to UP. Listen. In Uttar Pradesh, city Janpur. If you remember, I told you Firoz Shah founded it in memory of his cousin Junah, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. In 1398, one of the military commanders by name Khwaja Jahan Malik Savar. Malik means commander. Savar means cavalry. Commander of cavalry forces, horse forces, Malik Savar, Khwaja Jahan. He founded independent kingdom of Janpur. He took the title Shah Us Shark. Shark means east. That means king of east. That's how the dynasty became popular as Sharki dynasty. Shah was Shark. Sharqi, Sharki dynasty. In this dynasty, Sharkis that ruled Janpur, Ibrahim Shah Sharki regarded the greatest. Nothing so great. Only thing is, constructions had taken place. I mean, he built the wonderful Ataladevi Mosque. Ataladevi, Jain goddesses. Her temple was converted into mosque. Okay. It's a fact that Muslim rulers converted Hindu temples into mosques. That's a fact, established fact. Okay, no justification here. Okay. History must also be taught as a history as it happened. Got the point? Yes, they converted it to mosque. After Ibrahim Shah, you have Hussain Shah Sharki of Janpur, an expert in Hindustani music. When I go to music, again I have to tell about Hussain. Hussain was the first to convene a conference of Hindustani singers at Janpur. Janpur, one of the main centers for Hindustani Sangeet. In Hindustani Sangeet, you have gharanas or samsthans. One of the samsthans, Janpur. Hussain himself an expert. He introduced a new form of Hindustani music, khayal. Khayal, a form of Hindustani music. A different raga, Hussaini Todi, that's named after him. Hussaini Todi, T-O-D-I. That way, you see, Janpur remained as the main center for Indo-Islamic culture, particularly Hindustani music. Barring that, there's nothing to talk about Janpur. Janpur became part of Lodi, L-O-D-I, Lodi dynasty's empire. It did not survive until Mughals came to India. Are you understanding? Take a note. Janpur, Jaunpur. Janpur. City Janpur was founded city Jaunpur was founded by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, by Firoz Shah Tughlaq in memory of his cousin Juna, Jauna, Juna, on the banks of river Gomati. Full stop. In 1398, next paragraph, 1398, it became an independent kingdom. Jaunpur became independent under the leadership of Malik Savar, Khwaja Jahan, Malik Savar, Khwaja Jahan. Full stop. He took the title Shah Shark. Shah Shark, within brackets, King of the East. King of the East, brackets close. Dynasty became popular as Sharki Dynasty, Sharqi, Sharki Dynasty. Full stop. Next paragraph. Ibrahim Shah Sharqi, Ibrahim Shah was the greatest. He built Ataladevi Masjid, Ataladevi Mosque or Masjid at Jaunpur. Ataladevi Jain goddesses. Next, Hussain Shah Sharqi, the great Hussain Shah Sharqi, was known for his patronage. To Hindustani music. Full stop. He organized the first conference of Hindustani singers and musicians. At Jaunpur. Full stop. he introduced, mark it, very important, Hussain Shah Sharki introduced a new form of Hindustani music. A new form of Hindustani music called Khayal. Underline Khayal. And a new raga tune. Raga, R-A-G. Raga means tune. A new raga named after him. Named after him. Named after him. Called Hussaini Todi. Hussaini Todi. T-O-D-I. Underline Hussaini Todi. Next. Jaunpur became part of Lodi's empire. Fine. Now give the subheading Malwa, M-A-L-W-A. M-A-L-W-A. Now listen. This independent kingdom of Malwa all formed in 1398. Jaunpur, Malwa, Gujarat. Independent kingdom was founded by Sultan Ghuri Khan. They belonged to the family of Khiljis. That's why Khilji dynasty of Malwa. Capital city Mandu, M-A-N-D-U, Madhya Pradesh, Mandu. In this dynasty, you have Muhammad Khilji II, most powerful ruler, Muhammad Khilji. He defeated Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and he also claimed victory against Maharana Kumbha of Mewar. Muhammad Khilji, celebrating victories, constructed Kirti Stamba, victory pillar, at Mandu. Next to Muhammad Khilji, you have Baj Bahadur, Sultan Baj Bahadur. He married a Hindu woman, Bhagma Sultan. He married a Hindu woman, Rupamati. Sultan Baj Bahadur and Rupamati both were experts in Hindustani music. Here, Rupamati Palace, if you go to Mandu, the lovely place Mandu. Okay. There you can see the Mahals, Hindola Mahal. Hindola Mahal is completely for music recitals only. Okay. So Malwa, a major center for Hindustani again. When Akbar came to power in 1564, Akbar defeated Baj Bahadur and occupied Malwa. It became part of Mughal Empire. Take a note. Malwa, M-A-L-W-A. It was ruled by an independent Khilji dynasty. Independent Khilji. Khilji dynasty in 1398. 1398. Full stop. Its capital city Mandu in Madhya Pradesh. Mandu in MP. Muhammad Khilji Muhammad Khilji II was the greatest. He claimed victories against Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and Rana Kumbha, KUMBA, Rana Kumbha of Mewar. Constructed a victory pillar, Kirti Stamba, a victory pillar, Kirti Stamba. In memory of his victories, Kirti Stamba, in memory of his victories, at Mandu, constructed Kirti Stamba at Mandu, in memory of his victories. Next, Baj Bahadur, Sultan Baj Bahadur, right like that. Sultan Baj Bahadur and his queen Rupamati, RUPA, Rupamati, both were experts in Hindustani music. Full stop. In 1564, Akbar defeated Mughal Emperor Akbar. Akbar defeated Baj Bahadur, and Malwa became part of Mughal Empire. Fine. Now Gidar subheading Gujarat. Subheading Gujarat. You see, Gujarat independent in 1398 when Taimur attacked Delhi. This state Gujarat ruled by Bahadur Shahi dynasty. One commander by name Jafar Khan. He took the title Bahadur Shah. That's how the dynasty came to be known as Bahadur Shahi dynasty. Sultan by name Ahmad Shah. He founded Ahmedabad, city of Ahmedabad, founded by Ahmad Shah. In this dynasty, the first great king, in fact, he was the greatest, not the first greatest Muhammad Shah I. You also call him Muhammad Begara. In some textbooks, it is written as Begada, B-E-G-A-D-A. Either way, you can write it. It's problem of pronunciation, either Begara or Begada. Okay. Just as you call Howrah, Havada, like that. Leave it. Muhammad Shah Begara, greatest. First Indian to challenge the Portuguese. When Portuguese entered India, they tried to control the trade in Arabian Sea. Without their permission, Indian ships just can't enter into Arabian Sea. Even Mughal Emperor Akbar had to take permission from Portuguese. Very powerful man Akbar. Krishnadev Rai, most powerful king in South India. Portuguese made these powerful kings of India to take their permission to send their ships. On sea, you can't challenge the Portuguese might. Muhammad Shah Begara, first Indian to challenge the Portuguese, but poor fellow was defeated. Portuguese governor Francisco de Almeida in the Battle of Du. Right, 1509. Muhammad Shah Begara, he founded the cities Muhammadabad and Mustafabad. His queen, Rani Sipiri, for her sake he built a palace, Rani Sipiri Palace in Ahmedabad, one of the most beautiful structures in India. For art historian, Ferguson, Rani Sipiri Palace more beautiful than that of Taj. In Taj, you see vulgar exhibition of wealth. Okay. Isn't it? Yeah. It is like you going to a beauty parlor, okay, getting yourself decked so badly. Understand? Okay. You can remain very simple and very attractive at the same time. Some people are very attractive. They don't make any makeup and all that. Okay. Huh? What? You don't have to present yourself, by excess of decoration, right? Yes. Rani Sipiri Palace, very simple, but very beautiful, very attractive, more attractive than Taj. Ferguson was absolutely right when he says that. That palace was built by Muhammad Shah Begara. When I go to architecture, I will tell you about that. After Muhammad Shah Begara, you have Sultan Bahadur Shah II. We rate Sultan Bahadur Shah II equally great. Okay. He challenged Akbar, but was defeated. Before that, he went for with Portuguese. There were wars between Bahadur Shah II and Portuguese. One of the Portuguese governors, Nino de Cunha, declared war on Bahadur Shah II, defeated Bahadur Shah II. There is an understanding between the two in 1532. As per the understanding, Bahadur Shah II gave away Du. You know, Du. Du, Vasai, and the parts of Bombay, areas of Bombay, were given away to the Portuguese. In return, Portuguese Emperor Akbar. In 1535, another war started between the two. Okay. Portuguese got Bahadur Shah II drowned in the waters of the sea and killed him. Portuguese were very cruel. You call them civilized fellows. Understand? That's one reason why Indian rulers never had any respect for Portuguese. Got the point. We have Portuguese Jesuit father, Saint Xavier. Okay. Ordered for cutting the tongues of the Brahmins, hands imputing Brahmins. They encouraged forced conversions, raping women, marrying them. Okay. Where can you say that Portuguese were civilized here? Okay. So here, Bahadur Shah II, the Gujarat Sultan, Akbar finally conquered Gujarat, made it part of his territory in 1572. 1572. Take a note. Gujarat. It was ruled by an independent dynasty. called Bahadur Shahi dynasty. Bahadur Shahi dynasty. Full stop. Next. Capital city Ahmedabad was founded by Ahmad Shah. Was founded by Ahmad Shah. Next. Muhammad Shah Begara. Muhammad Shah Begara. Begare. Begara was the greatest. Begara or Begada, either way you can write. Begada was the greatest. He founded the cities Muhammadabad and Mustafabad. Muhammadabad and Mustafabad. He was the first Indian to challenge the Portuguese, but was defeated in the Battle of Diu by Portuguese governor Francisco de Almeida. Francisco, Francisco, Francisco D. Almeida, Almeda. Full stop. Next, Bahadur Shah II was defeated by Portuguese governor Nino de Cunha in 1532. Full stop. He gave away, Bahadur Shah II gave away Diu, Vasai, and parts of Bombay and portions of Bombay, parts of city Bombay to the Portuguese. Full stop. Next, he was drowned in the waters. He was drowned in the waters and killed by the Portuguese. Next. Paragraph. Mughal Emperor Akbar finally made Gujarat part of his empire. finally made Gujarat part of Mughal Empire. In 1572, 1572. Fine. Now listen. In Rajputana, you have the most powerful kingdom, Mewar. Mewar ruled by Sisodia dynasty. Rana Hamir, the founder of this dynasty. Rana Kumbha, the first great king of the Sisodias. Kumbha claimed victories against Bahadur Shah of Gujarat and Muhammad Khilji II of Gujarat. Kumbha constructed Vijayastamba, otherwise Kirtistamba, at Chittoor. Just 10-15 minutes ago, I said Muhammad Khilji claimed victories against Bahadur Shah II and Kumbha. Now Kumbha is claiming victory against Bahadur Shah II and Muhammad Khilji II. We don't know who defeated whom. Each one claiming victory against the other. But it's a fact both must have defeated Bahadur Shah II. Got the point? Because the fellow, he had not built one Kirtistambha. Then things would have become more so complicated. Okay. Right. Kumbha constructing Kirtistambha, Vijayastamba at Chittoor. You must have seen a very huge tower. Right. After Kumbha, you have Rana Sanga, Sangrama Singha, the greatest of the Sisodiyas, Rana Sanga. His name struck terror in the heart of enemies. Babur had no guts to face Sanga. His army, thoroughly demoralized army, Babur's army. They had no spirit to face him. That's the time when Babur took an oath that if he scores a victory against Sanga, he won't touch wine and woman, just to infuse that confidence in his soldiers. Rajputs known for their bravery and chivalry, understand? Bravest sons of the soil, you call them. Okay. In the war that was fought, okay, their main problem, lack of sophisticated armory. Babur's strength was that only, cannons. Understand? In the battle of Khandwa, Sanga was defeated, Rana Sanga. But Rajputs had not surrendered. Sisodiyas had not surrendered. They continued to defy the Mughals under the leadership of Maharana Uday Singh. Uday Singh, Pratap Singh, and Rana Amar Singh. You must have heard of the story Haldi Ghathi. Okay. Rana Pratap, defeated by Raja Man Singh, sent by Akbar. But Pratap never surrendered. Okay. Pratap's heroic fight, a source of inspiration for people to stand for liberty and equality, freedom and liberty and freedom. Pratap's fight inspired the great Ho, Vietnamese leader. When Vietnam went for war with France and US, very powerful countries, a small country, Vietnam, fighting against them. Ho Chi Minh, a close friend of India. When we invited him, he came to India just to see the place where Maharana was buried. India's gift to the world for the poor nations fighting against the might of the powerful countries is this soil. He picked up the mud, understand, where Maharana was buried. That's the gift of India for the world. How you can remain independent and fight for your freedom against all odds. Okay. After Maharana Pratap, you have Amar Singh. Amar Singh continued his fight. One kingdom, remember, never surrendered to Mughals. Okay. Akbar could not conquer. Akbar could not conquer in his lifetime, it was Mewar. It never surrendered to Akbar. After Akbar, you had Jahangir. Akbar's son, Jahangir. Jahangir sent Khurram. Khurram means Shah Jahan. Along with, Raja Man Singh. Raja Man Singh's nephew, Shah Jahan. Hindu mother. Understand? They scored a victory against Rana Amar Singh. Amar Singh agreed to accept Mughal suzerainty. Okay. But never Amar Singh attended Mughal court. No personal appearance in the Mughal court. Are you understanding? Maharana will never come to Mughal court. For namesake to accept, okay, you are our lord. That's all. Okay. That's how, during the times of Amar Singh, Mewar surrendered to Mughals. Okay. Take a note. Give the subheading Mewar. M-E-W-A-R. Mewar, ruled by Sisodias. Sisodias. Rana Hamir, Hammir, founded the dynasty, Sisodia dynasty. Hamir, founder of Sisodia dynasty. Full stop. Rana Kumbha, Kumba, the first great king. First great king of the dynasty. He claimed victories against Bahadur Shah II, of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah II of Gujarat, and Muhammad Khilji of Malwa. Constructed Kirti or Vijay Stamba, S-T-H-A-M-B, Stamba, at Chittoor. Next. Rana Sanga was the greatest. Sanga was the greatest. However, he was defeated by Babur. Sanga was defeated by Babur in 1527 in the Battle of Kanwa, K-N-W-A. Mark the Battle of Kanwa, important. Next paragraph. However, Sisodias fight. Sisodias continued their fight under the leadership of Rana Uday Singh, Pratap Singh, and Amar Singh. In 1576, Battle of Haldi Ghati, Haldi, Haldi Ghati, Ghati, was fought between Akbar and Pratap Singh. Pratap was defeated. Next paragraph. During the times of Amar Singh, Khurram, Khurram. Khurram means Shah Jahan. Khurram and Raja Man Singh defeated Amar Singh. And Mewar accepted for the first time Mughal sovereignty. First time Mughal overlordship or Mughal sovereignty, suzerainty. Either way you can write. Fine. Now give us subheading Kashmir. Next, regional dynasty. You see, when it comes to Kashmir, it was ruled by Shamir dynasty. Shah Mirza, the founder. In this dynasty, you have two contrasting personalities. One, Sikandar, a fanatic Sikandar, destroyed Hindu temples, persecuted Kashmiri Pandits, founded a separate department, Sheikh-ul-Islam, to promote Islam in Kashmir. He encouraged Muslim merchants to come and settle in Kashmir. Question in UPSC: during whose times Muslims became majority, Hindus minority in Kashmir? It was during the times of Sikandar. Constant persecution of Pandits, Kashmiri Pandits, it's historical. In contrast to Sikandar, you have his successors, Jain-ul-Abidin, otherwise called, actual name Shahi Khan, Jain-ul-Abidin, title. Secular in his outlook, Jain-ul-Abidin. Jain-ul-Abidin, popular as Akbar of Kashmir. Very important. You got questions on this. Who is called Akbar of Kashmir for his liberal and secular outlook. He invited Kashmiri Pandits to come back to Kashmir Valley. Banned killing cow. Understand? Translated Mahabharata into Persian. Appointed Jonadeva and Srinara to continue Kalhana's Rajatarangini. Introduced bookbinding industry, for the first time in Kashmir, built Jainalanka, a lake Jainalanka. Okay. For his secular reforms, you call him Akbar of Kashmir, Jain-ul-Abidin. In 1585, Akbar occupied Kashmir, Mughal Emperor. Right? Take a note. Kashmir. It was ruled by Shamir dynasty. Shamir. Full stop. Sikandar Shah, next paragraph. Persecuted Hindus. Persecuted Hindus and founded a separate department Sheikhul Islam to promote Islam in Kashmir. To promote Islam in Kashmir. For the first time, Hindus became a minority. During his time in Kashmir. During his time in Kashmir. Full stop. Next paragraph. Give the subheading Jain-ul-Abidin. Very, very important. Jain-ul-Abidin. His actual name, mark him important. His actual name, Shahi Khan. Popular as, mark it important, popular as Akbar of Kashmir. Akbar of Kashmir. For his secular and liberal outlook. For his secular and liberal outlook or reforms. He banned cow slaughtering. He banned killing cow. Cow slaughtering, comma, renovated Hindu temples. Renovated Hindu temples. Appointed Srinara, Nadeva, appointed Srinara and Jonadeva continue as Rajatarani, to continue the work of Kalhana. Remember? Kalhana's Raj to continue Kalhanas Rajatarangini. Full stop. Next. He got Mahabharata translated. You got a question on this. He got Mahabharata translated into Persian. Full stop. Next. He built Jainalanka. He built Jainalanka, L-A-N-K, in Kashmir. And was also the first to introduce book binding industry. Book, B-O-O-K, binding. Book binding industry in Kashmir. Next. In 1585, next paragraph, Akbar occupied Kashmir. Right. These are the regional dynasties of North India. In South, you have Vijayanagar and Bahmani. I will discuss Vijayanagar Empire after your break. Go for your break. Right. In South India, we have two powerful kingdoms. One, the great Vijayanagar Empire, and other one, Bahmani Empire. What is the historic background of Vijayanagar Empire and its formation? If you remember, I told you, Alauddin Khilji first to enter the south. 1295, when Devagiri, kingdom of the Yadavas, was defeated, that's the first victory of Muslims in the south. Afterwards, you see Muslim incursions, taking very frequently into the South India. This created a political and social turmoil. All the powerful Hindu dynasties were dismantled. Socially, large-scale mass conversions were taking place, forced conversions. Large-scale destruction of Hindu temples was taking place. If you allow the situation to continue for some more time, then there's possibility of Hinduism withering away. In sense, Hinduism in deep crisis. Need of the time, someone must rise to the occasion to protect Hinduism against this onslaught of Islam. In South India, liberation movements started to liberate the territories occupied by the Muslims. 77 commanders of Prataparudra Gajapati of Kakatiyas Varangal in present Telangana, 77 commanders, we call them Nayakas. They were the first to lead the liberation movement against Islam in South. When Prataparudra, grandson of Rudramadevi, ruler of Varangal, was defeated and captured by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Prataparudra committed suicide. Prataparudra's commanders, Harihara and Bukka, two commanders, they were converted into Islam by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Tughlaq made them his representatives, appointed them as the rulers of Kampili. There's a place called in Karnataka, Kampili. So the beginnings of the, Vijayanagar Empire, you can trace to the history of Telangana, Warangal, Kakatiya Kingdom. Right. That's the same time, one of the greatest saints in the history of the South, Swami Vidyaranya and his brother Shayana, these two had taken up the task of reviving Hinduism, protecting Hinduism against Islam. The two brothers, they realized the importance of one powerful kingdom to protect Hindu culture in the South. Okay. South India at large is indebted to Swami Vidyaranya, I am telling you, my dear. Had Vidyaranya not there, Vijayanagar Empire not there, things would have been bad to us. Okay. Just as your religion is important to you, my religion is important to me. Got the point? We must know how to respect each other. Okay. If you wanted to overpower us and to establish your faith, okay, that's definitely not acceptable. Get the point? Swami Vidyaranya, it was to his credit that he laid the foundations for Vijayanagar Empire. Swami Vidyaranya in 1336 laid the foundations of Vijayanagar Empire on the banks of river Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra at a place called Hampi. Hampi, the city on the banks of river Tungabhadra. The other side of river Tungabhadra, you have another place called Anegundi. Anegundi is the place where the foundations for Vijayanagar Empire were laid by Swami Vidyaranya. Capital city, Hampi. Now Vidyaranya was supported by these two brothers, Harihara and Bukka, the rulers of Kampili. They were converted to Islam. So Swami Vidyaranya reconverted them in Virupaksha temple, Hampi. Any one of you had been to Hampi? Any one of you in the class? Anyone from Karnataka? State Karnataka. Remember Hampi, world's biggest city in medieval times. You must see Hampi, lovely place. When you are really sick of this dirty civil service preparation coaching program, understand? Yeah. Condemned, you understand? Wanted to relax, okay, go to Hampi. My favorite tourist spot, Hampi. Okay. When I go, I don't know whether I told you this or not. I don't inform to my family where I am going to. I'll just tell my wife that I am off, that's all. Okay. I have one bag, there everything will be there. And I can sleep on footpath also, 5-star hotel also, fly also, general compartment also. No problem for me. For 1 week I really enjoy myself. That's the time I will keep it for myself in my life. No wife, no family, no sons. I advise you sincerely, you also lead a life like this. Understand? When you go for any place of your choice, go all alone. Don't go with your boyfriend, girlfriend. Pain. Pain, I am telling you, actual pain. Understand? Neither they would be happy, nor they allow you to be happy. खाना 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 खाते खाते मर जाते हैं ये लोग. Understand? यहाँ भी जाओ, खाना पहले, खाना. Okay. Don't go with anyone. You go all alone. That's all. Be happy. They are wonderful. If you go to Hampi, they will give you one bicycle. Okay, you have to go. It takes need 2 days for us. Clearly 2 days to go around the city Hampi. 1500, 15 kilometers, square kilometers, the circumference. Understand? And green fields, lovely sugarcane fields, fresh breeze you will get, and a river Tungabhadra flowing. Okay. Fantastic place to relax, Hampi. Hampi, according to UNESCO, world's second best open air tourist spot. Second best, world's second best open air tourist spot in the world. Okay. So Hampi still retained that, charisma. There is still that attraction towards the place Hampi, I'm telling you. Lovely place. In the heart of the city Hampi, you have Virupaksha temple. Very old temple, Virupaksha temple. There, Swami Vidyaranya reconverted Harihara and Bukka into Hinduism. Okay. That's how the foundations for Vijayanagara Empire were laid down. The task to protect Hinduism, Hindu culture against Islam. This great empire was ruled by 4 dynasties: Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva, and Araviti dynasties. Sangama, father of Harihara and Bukka, the 2 commanders, is named after the father of Harihara and Bukka, Sangama dynasty. When Vijayanagara Empire was founded with the capital city Hampi, exactly after 10 years, 1336, Vijayanagara Empire founded. In 1346, you have Bahmani Empire founded. Okay. Bahmani Empire founded with its capital city, Gulbarga. Okay. Gulbarga comes here, Bahmani Empire. That's the empire founded by Muslim commanders. Alauddin Hassan Bahman Gangu. Bahman is a Brahmin, the other name for Brahmin. Okay. He was brought up by a Brahmin called Gangu. As a token of his love for that Brahmin, respect for Brahmin, he took the title, Alauddin Hassan Bahman Gangu. But all said and done, it's a Muslim empire, Islamic empire, and this is for protecting Hindu culture. Very frequent wars between these two. Okay? Not that they were Muslims and these kings were Hindus. No, it's not because of community difference, religious difference. It was for the sake of control over the 2 river systems, Krishna and Tungabhadra. The land between Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers, you call it Raichur. Raichur Doab. Doab means the land between 2 rivers. Is for the sake of control over this area, very rich area. Okay. Very frequent wars between Bahmanis and the Vijayanagar rulers. That's the main reason. First Bahmani Sultan, Alauddin Hassan, defeated Harihara. Because this is the beginning of the warfare between the two. Clear? Take a note. Give the heading, Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar, Vijaya. Vijayanagar Empire. Within brackets, 1336 to 1570, 1570. Generally, you end up Vijayanagar Empire with 1565 only. I will tell you the reason later. 1570, brackets close. It was Swami Vidyaranya. Swami. And his brother Shayana. And his brother Shayana. inspired the foundation of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire in 1336 on the banks of river Tungabhadra. On the banks of river Tungabhadra. Tunga, Thunga, Bhadra, Badre. On the banks of river Tungabhadra, with the capital city Hampi. First, actually, next paragraph. Actually, foundations were laid at Anegundi. At a place called Anegundi. Anegundi on the banks of Tungabhadra. Full stop. Next paragraph. Capital city Hampi. Capital city Hampi was world's biggest city. It was world's biggest city in medieval times. In medieval times, with a circumference of 15 kilometers. With a circumference of 15 kilometers and an estimated population of 5 lakhs. And a population of 5 lakhs. Full stop. It was declared by UNESCO. You know UNESCO? Yes, United Nations. It was declared by UNESCO as world's second best open air tourist spot. Full stop. World's second best open air tourist spot. Next paragraph. Swami Vidyaranya was supported by two commanders, Harihara, Harihara, and his brother Bukka, B-U-K-K-A, Bukkaraya, Harihara and his brother Bukkaraya, R-A-Y-A. Full stop. They were actually court commanders of Harihara and Bukka, court commanders of King Prataparudra of Kakatiyas, of Warangal. Warangal, Telangana state. King Prataparudra of Kakatiyas of Warangal. Full stop. They were captured by these two commanders were captured by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq and converted into Islam. Converted into Islam. Full stop. Tughlaq made them governors of Muhammad bin Tughlaq made them governors of Kampili, 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 Kampili in Karnataka. Full stop. Next, they were reconverted into Hinduism. They were reconverted into Hinduism by Swami Vidyaranya at Virupaksha temple. At Virupaksha, V-I-R-U, at Virupaksha temple. Virupaksha temple in Hampi. Full stop. Next paragraph. Vijayanagara Empire was ruled by four dynasties. Four dynasties. Number one, Sangama. Sangama dynasty, within brackets, 1336 to 1485. Number two, Saluva. (1485 to 1505). Number three, Tuluva. 1505 to 1570. And number four, Araviti. Within brackets, 1570 to 1614. I'm sorry, 1618. 1618. Right. I know your doubt. Vijayanagara Empire ends with 1570. This fourth dynasty, they ruled only some parts of Vijayanagara Empire after its decline. Are you clear? After the decline, okay, they ruled only a portion of Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, not capital city Hampi from there. Okay. So altogether you have four dynasties. Okay. Now give the subheading. First one, Sangam dynasty. Sangama dynasty. Within brackets, 1336 to 1485. It was named after Sangam dynasty, named after Sangama, 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 comma, father of Harihara and Bukka. Father of Harihara and Bukka. Full stop. Next paragraph. There were frequent wars. There were frequent wars between Vijayanagar rulers and the Bahmani sultans. Vijayanagar rulers and Bahmani sultans for the sake of control over, mark it very important, for the sake of control over Raichur Doab, R-A-I-C-H-U-R, Raichur Doab, the land between two rivers, Raichur Doab, comma, the land between Krishna Tungabhadra rivers. The land between Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers. Full stop. Harihara was defeated by Sultan Alauddin Hasan. By Sultan Alauddin Hasan of Bahmani Empire. Now listen. After Harihara, his brother Bukka came to power. Bukkaraya. Bukka sent a delegation to the Emperor of China for better trade relations with China. Bukka's son Veerakampa, the first Vijayanagar commander to occupy Madurai, capital city of Pandyas. Veerakampa's wife, Gangadevi, she wrote Madura Vijayam, conquest of Madurai, by her husband. Madura Vijayam in Sanskrit. Okay, by Gangadevi, wife of Veerakampa. After this, you have Devarai I came to power. Devarai I, he constructed one dam on river Tungabhadra for irrigation purpose. Even today, if you go to Hampi, you can see the ruins of this dam and river Tungabhadra. Devarai I had fallen in love with Nahal, the beautiful daughter of blacksmith of Raichur. She is her father, a blacksmith of Raichur. Whereas Nahal was interested in Tajuddin Firoz, Bahmani Sultan. For the sake of this girl, there was war between Devarai I and... Why are you laughing, my dear? Huh? Devarai I and Tajuddin Firoz. Okay, this is called the war for blacksmith's daughter, Nahal. Okay, Devarai I was defeated. Who tells us about this story? According to Persian chronicler Perista, he talks about this. War for the beautiful daughter of a blacksmith. After Devarai I, you have Devarai II coming to power. Devarai II highly accomplished in sense that in fine arts, literature. He was an expert, Devarai too. Okay. Devarai too, for his expertise in fine arts, you call him Praudha. Praudha Devarai, not proud. P-R-O-U-D, proud nahi. Praudha Devarai. Okay. Devarai too, Praudha Devarai. It was during his times Ceylon was conquered. Praudha richest king in India, according to Abdur Razzaq. Class understand, Niccolo Conti, an Italian traveler. Niccolo Conti. Abdur Razzaq, Persian ambassador. Both visited Vijayanagar Empire during the times of Devaraya too. For Niccolo Conti, no city bigger than Hampi. Hampi, world's biggest city. Abdur Razzaq talks about the commercial prosperity of the city Hampi, where diamonds and pearls were openly sold in the markets. If you go to Hampi, you have a market of that, where diamonds used to be sold openly in the markets. Hampi is in ruins today, you understand. But even in the ruins also, that charisma is there. Okay, that attracts you more, I should say. Okay. For Abdur Razzaq, Devarai too, India's richest king at that time. A very prosperous kingdom, Hampi, under Devarai too. Devarai too, his passion and his hobby also was to go for hunting elephants, an expert in hunting elephants. That's the reason why he took the title Gajabetakara. Gajabetakara means expert in hunting elephants. Devarai too, first to employ Muslims to train Vijayanagar cavalry. See Muslims experts in riding horses. Vijayanagar army's main problem, they don't have expertise in riding horses. You need Muslims to be trained. Muslims to train the Vijayanagar forces. That's why he employed Muslims to train. He had great respect for Quran. A copy of Quran always kept by Devarai too on his throne. He constructed a mosque for Muslims in Hampi. This is the question in UPSC. The Vijayanagar ruler who built a mosque for Muslims at Hampi. It was Devarai too. Devarai too, I told you, an accomplished person. He was a prolific scholar in Sanskrit. He started the practice of conducting literary assembly. Literary assemblies, inviting the poets all over his empire. That literary assembly of Praudha was called Mutyala Shala. Mutya means pearl. Pearl's palace. Mutyala Shala. His court poet, Gauda Dindima. Gauda Dindima was challenged by one of the greatest poets of his times, Srinath. Srinath defeated Gauda Dindima, court poet of Devarai too. That made Devarai too to confer the title Emperor of Poets, Kavi Sarvabhauma. Sarvabhauma means emperor. Kavi means poet. Emperor of Poets, Kavi Sarvabhauma upon Srinath. Srinath, one of the greatest Telugu poets. See, what is really interesting is, these rulers of Vijayanagar, they are all Kannadigas. The background is Kannadiga, except Harihara and Bukka. They are Telugus. Understand? But rest of them all had their background Kannada. But they promoted and patronized most Telugu. Telugu language, called Italian of the East. This is the epithet given by Niccolo Conti. For him, Telugu very sweet language. It's not that I am a Telugu, I am blowing my trumpet. You understand? It is Italian. The foreigners who visited these places, they were, unanimous in declaring, okay, Krishnadeva, the greatest, for him, no language like Telugu. Desha Bhashalandu Telugu Lessa. Telugu Lessa means the best language. Understand? Every bhava you can express in Telugu, right? No other language has that advantage. Okay. Whatever the inner feeling, there's a specific word there. Okay. All languages have no words to express proper feelings. Got the point? Okay. More so the language is corrupted because of your cell phones. Cell phone language today. Get the point? No time also to express inner feelings. Okay. 134, 145, 156. Huh? Isn't it? I will leave it to your wisdom to take whatever the meaning you want. Huh? Time nahi hai. Time nahi. Time nahi. Okay. You don't have even a good expression to call your brother. Okay. Bro. My dear bro. Understand? This is the what? Okay. Telugu. In Telugu you can't go for short forms. It's very difficult. Okay. You have to use full form. Right. So here, Devarai, he himself a scholar in Sanskrit. He wrote Mahanataka Sudhanidhi. Mahanataka Sudhanidhi, a wonderful text on Sangeet, Carnatic music. Okay, when I go to music again, I have to tell you about that. Carnatic Sangeet, music. After Devarai too, Sangam dynasty collapsed. Okay, weak successors. That too their constant problem, Bahmani sultans attacking from the north. Okay. East coast of Andhra Pradesh encroached upon by Gajapatis of Kalinga. Kalinga means Odisha. They were making deep inroads into the coastal belt. Vijayanagara Empire sandwiched between the two. Okay. It requires a very efficient person to handle the situation. That person, Salu Narasimha. Brilliant commander Salu Narasimha. Narasimha, he took over the administration, removing the last of the ruler of Sangama dynasty, Virupaksha. The way Narasimha came to power, you call it first conspiracy. Chief commander removed the king and captured the power. That is first conspiracy. Saluva Narasimha. The second dynasty called Saluva dynasty, they ruled only for 20 years. Worth mentioning only Saluva Narasimha. Greatness of Saluva Narasimha is he saved the situation. That apart, he patronized the greatest poet cum singer, I should say. Okay. Annama, Talapaka Annamacharya. Can you believe it, my dear? Annamacharya composed maximum number of kirtans in world literature. World literature. Okay. Maximum number of kirtans. I am not telling you kirtana started with Annama. You have Chaitanya Prabhu starting kirtanas. But maximum number of kirtans means Annamacharya. Composed kirtans on Balaji, Lord Sri Venkateshwara of Tirumala. Okay. After Saluva dynasty, you have the third dynasty, Tuluva dynasty. Okay. Tuluva Narsa, chief commander, removed the son of Saluva Narasimha and came to power. This is called second conspiracy. Clear? Take a note. Devarai 1. Next. Is it time? Yeah, I have another class also. But give me 10 minutes more. Devarai 1. Devarai 1 built a dam on river Tungabhadra. Mark it, very important. Devarai 1 built a dam on river Tungabhadra at Hampi for irrigation purpose. Number one. Next, number two. According to Perista, Perista, according to Perista, Persian chronicler, Perista, Persian chronicler, Devrite one went for war with, he went for a war with Tajuddin Firoz. Tajuddin Firoz, the Bahmani Sultan, for the sake of Nahal, N-A-H-L, for the sake of Nahal, beautiful daughter of a blacksmith, for the sake of Nahal, daughter of blacksmith of Raichur, blacksmith of Raichur, R-A-I-C-H-U-R, full stop. Next, give the subheading, Devrai II. Devrai II, the greatest of the Sangam dynasty. Greatest of the Sangam dynasty. Also called as Prauda, P-R-A-U-D-A. P-R-A-U-D-A, Prauda Devrai. P-R-A-U-D-A, Prauda, not proud, Prauda Devrai. Prauda Devrai for his mastery in fine arts. Full stop. It was during his times, Italian traveler Niccolo Conti and Persian ambassador Niccolo Conti and Persian ambassador Abdur Razzaq, mark it important, Persian ambassador Abdur Razzaq, both visited Vijayanagar Empire. Both visited Vijayanagar Empire. Full stop. For Niccolo Conti, Hampi, world's biggest city. Full stop. For Abdur Razzaq, diamonds were openly sold. Diamonds were openly sold in the streets of Hampi. In the streets of Hampi, and Devrai II, India's richest ruler. Devrai II was India's richest ruler. Who says this? Abdur Razak. Next paragraph. Devrai II employed Muslims to train Vijayanagar cavalry. He employed Muslims to train Vijayanagar cavalry. Full stop. He respected the Holy Quran. Kept a copy of that on his throne. Of Quran on his throne, and built a mosque for Muslims. He built a mosque for Muslims at Hampi. Mark this, very important. You got questions twice on this. He built a mosque for Muslims at Hampi. Full stop. Next. He started the practice of conducting Devrai II started the practice of conducting literary assemblies. Full stop. His literary assembly was called read it. मुत्याला साला नहीं है, इसीलिए मैं वो साला नहीं. You see this stressed A. Shala. Muchala, Shala, not Sala. Right? His literary assembly, Mutyala Shala. Mutyala Shala means, within brackets, Pearl's Palace. Literal meaning, Pearl's Palace. Pearl's Palace, brackets close. Full stop. He conferred, Prabhudev Rai conferred the title Kavi Sarvabhauma, within brackets, Emperor of Poets. Kavi Sarvabhauma means Emperor of Poets. He conferred the title Kavi Sarvabhauma upon the great Telugu poet, Srinath. Upon the great Telugu poet Srinath. Full stop. Next. He himself a great scholar. He means here, Devrai II. He himself a great scholar wrote, very important, he wrote Mahanataka Sudhanidhi. Mahanataka Sudhanidhi. Mahanataka Sudhanidhi, underline the title. On Carnatic music. On Carnatic, C-A-R-N-A-T-I-C. C-A-R-N-A-T-I-C. Carnatic music. Full stop. Next, an expert in hunting elephants. Prabhudev Rai, an expert in hunting elephants, had the title Gajabetakara. Gajabetakara. Underline Gajabetakara. Fine, we shall stop here for today.